Good afternoon, everybody. Can everybody hear me on Zoom? Anybody just say yes?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. Hi, Oscar. All right, well, I'll hand it over to Annie and she can present her presentation.
So good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year. My name is Annie Fan, Chicago Title. First, I want to thank co-banker George, Ruben, Michelle, Peter, for giving me an opportunity to do this presentation. Today, I'm going to show you how you can grow your business organically through farming on Google My Business. So 2023, based on what Tom Ferry was talking about, the real estate coach, if you don't do anything, one thing you gotta do is make sure you put your presence on Google. Why? Because over 90% of buyers and sellers, before they reach out to you, they're gonna, check you out, right? So you wanna make sure that you are, on top of your game, right? So that you can dominate into whatever the area you wanted to dominate. So why I'm here today is because I did this all by myself. Okay, so I can teach you step by step. If today there are a lot of information overloaded, no worry. I would love to meet up with you one-on-one. I will teach you, I will help you on the Google My Business. Okay, so if you want to do that, you can go on your phone, go to google.com, searching title company, type in nearby or near me, and I will be number one. I have 75 reviews. I did it all by myself. I didn't hire nobody. How I learned it was I YouTube it. Right, try and error, and it took me a while, but I did it. So I figured if I can do it myself, right, you can do it too. And I would love to partner up with you in 2023 and help you to put your presence and dominate in the virtual space. Okay, so first we're gonna go over that. So I want to ask everybody. First question is, what is your preferred search engine? Anybody?
Google.
Right, that's Google. So the next one is another question. What do you think is your client's preferred search engine?
Google.
Right? Same, Google, right? So then what's next one? That's supposed to be 2023. Anyway, so we know that Google My Business now changed to Google profile is extremely important. So next. Then what specific do you put in the search engine, right? So then that's something you needed to look into is Google My Business. Why? I'm gonna show you how you can put your ranking on the top. Because a lot of times you will look into this when you go to google.com, right? You put realtors in Alhambra, California. I bet you the top 3 who's on the Google My Business, the top 3 ranking, is not even the top producers in our area because we are all local, right? I live in San Gabriel Valley as well. So easily you can figure out who are the top agents. If they can do it, you gotta shop too. Next. So what is a SEO? It's a search engine optimization. Okay. And then what is a location authority? So let's say if you live in San Gabriel, you can be in Mr. San Gabriel. How are you gonna do that? Is put your presence into the Google. You're gonna say, yeah, but some people may do like Yelp, but we all know most of the Yelp services is like food, food restaurants, like service industry. So if you wanted to really dominate it, instead of doing Zillow, because now Zillow is direct competition, right? So then you wanted to do go to Google. So this is the things you wanted to really pay attention, okay? So this is called a GMB Everywhere. So GMB Everywhere, they will teach you how you can make sure your rankings on top. So there's gonna be about like 14 to 15 things you need to focus on. So the first thing is when you have a internet, you go to google.com, you type in GMB, G as a George, M as a Mary, B as a boy, GMB Everywhere. Then there's gonna be a free download thing. You download that, so they will analyze, your Google My Business. To me, free is the best. So every month you can get 5, audit for free. Okay, so you can download that, and they can audit your Google My Business, making sure you optimize. So why you want to do optimize for your account is the more information you fill out, then when they run searches, when they type in, let's say, realtors or top agents in Arcadia or whatever the city, you try to dominate maybe Diamond Bar, you're gonna be on the top 3. Okay, so you have to make sure you optimize, you fill out every single criteria. So,
Question.
Go
So by downloading it automatically optimizes your,
well, it's only give you the audit
Okay.
because I do the free version. That's kind of my middle name, free. So the first thing you wanted to take a look at the number 1, right? The primary is a GMB category. Why that's so important is when you set up the account, it's gonna give you 2 options, right? Whether you want to be a real estate agent or real estate consultant. So then what you want to do is you want to do both. So you were going to have your first primary category will be real estate agent, and then you can do real estate consultant. So then you wanted to find out all the categories to fill it up. So then this way, whenever the people do, the search words, it's going to hit that category. If you have any questions, this is kind of like open-ended, feel free to ask me. And then, go ahead.
So where do you put that?
Huh?
Where? Can you show?
So later I'm gonna show
Where?
you how you set
Oh.
up the account like step by step, and then you will see where that is. Yes, and then you,
No, that's okay. I was asking if you're gonna keep this material, like,
it's good, like the presentation,
uh-huh.
it always gets emailed to the agents
And
and
then-
it's also on our
right,
website.
plus we have the recorded version, but I would love to meet up with you one-on-one. If you need help to set it up, go ahead.
I'd like to ask you a question. When I
Sure.
was looking for an agency to join the real estate office, I was surprised when I did the search and came up with, well, I won't say much, but really, I went into the website and I was looking at all the agents, and the one that really stood out was Frank Q. Because he had a nice smile and everything, but his name didn't pop out as one of the top agents. It was really, I won't say much. But I was surprised. Is it true that you can also pay Google to put you up on?
Yes,
your name?
absolutely. So let's say when you want to do, later on we can show you. So when you go to google.com, right? And then since this office is now Alhambra, you can do real estate agent or realtor in Alhambra, California, right? So then it will show you the top maybe 3 or 4, right? The ones on the Google My Business. And then right below on the way top, there's gonna be a green check. That's when you pay Google, you do advertisement. But then you have to go through a vetting process. So you will see those top 3 ones. Usually they are not from our area, but they have like tons of reviews. So if they can do it, so can you. And you brought up a great question. That agent you mentioned, start with the F, right? He wasn't on the top. So then it gives you an opportunity to, get on the top, even though, he's a great producer, right? And then you can actually beat him up, anything's possible. Just look at me,
Oh, I
right?
know.
So,
And just to add, Annie, so why is it important to be on the top?
well, so, as a human being, we are visual animals, right? And then when we run searches, do you think you will go to page number 5 to find any fan? Hell no, right? You're gonna look for the top 3, because if I'm not on the top 3, I don't even want to bother to go through, like, maybe I'm at page number 10. Do you think people have the time and effort to do that, to find like page number 10 and find my information? No, right? So then now in this DNA age, that speed is important. And then you have to put in effort and time, especially in 2023. We all know market shifting, right? We have to go back to the basics. The same thing with me. Right before I came over here, I went to hit open houses, right? My game is the same as yours. It's all numbers game, right? So I go visit the open houses. So today I visit 2 open houses, one in Arcadia, one in St. Gabriel, just to show my face, to make an introduction to the real estate agent. After this meeting, I'm gonna call them and try to see if I can make an appointment. So the moral of this story is that every day we have to put in the effort on prospecting. So I'm as a title rep, I do that too. So every day, I, push myself minimum do 4 hours prospecting. Doesn't matter, hitting open houses face to face, right? Today doing the presentation. This morning at 8:30, I was at Arcadia Board of Realtors. I show on my face, did my affiliate pitch, right? I call, text, email, even though I get a lot of rejections just like you, but who cares, right? We just need to connect with the people we can connect with and create our own tribes. And I think there are plenty of business for everybody because we are all unique. I'm different, right? I'm not the same as the title reps. So maybe I offer something they don't offer, or through certain connections. Like maybe I'm from Taiwan, I speak Chinese, so I connect with or click with some agent. So you never know, right? And then to me, anything's possible. We can't just get bogged down by the market that, oh, the interest rate high. But the truth is, it doesn't matter the interest rate high or low. There's always transaction, right? So we just need to find the right buyers, right sellers, just like what Tom Ferry was talking about, right? For the next 3 months, we want to set up a goal. We have this challenge 100 appointments. Why I talk about Tom Ferry a lot because I follow him. I even go to his seminar just to try to learn about how agents think. If I'm a title rep, right? Even though I'm in the same type of business, right? But I don't deal with the buyer and seller. However, I'm just like you, I'm commission only. If my file doesn't close, I don't get paid, right? So there's like different tiers. Real estate agent, your transaction could be in the 10,000 and plus, right? And then for a loan agent will be like the thousands and plus, right? For the title rep, each file maybe I'm only making between $200 to $500. And then for the home warranties, maybe each file $10 they have 5 days. So you see that different tiers, but we are all in the same category. Why I'm bringing this so much is I'm trying to let you know it doesn't matter the market. The market's a market. It doesn't matter interest rate high, interest rate low, whether there's going to foreclosure or not. We just need to find buyers and sellers we click with. The same thing with me. I will work with the agent I click with. It doesn't matter if you're a listing agent or buyer agent. So let's go back to this page that you will see number 2 is the keywords in the GMP business title. That's important, right? So are you going to do as a team or are you going to be individuals, right? That's something you need to think about because now it's going to be your business name on your Google My Business. Could it be like Olson Realty? I'm sorry, I'm just thinking on Michelle, or Michelle Olson's Real Estate, or you want to do Core Banker George, / Michelle. But later I'm going to show you how I did my Google My Business, how I evolved from the original thing and then evolved to where I am. Then the third one is really important, the proximity of address to the point of search. So you see that's like rated like a number 3, right? So then you wanted to make sure you dominate the area you want to dominate. So let's say if you want to be the Queen of Arcadia, right? So you want to make sure that either you move your, when you do the business name, and then it's going to ask you the addresses. Your addresses maybe have to be in Arcadia, right? Or if you want to dominate into like Alhambra, close to your Martyr Park, then you need to do like Alhambra. So those are, I know it's like teeny tiny minor thing, but they all count. So okay, next. So this is the ones the previous one. So if you can see how I evolve, okay? So at the beginning, when I set up my business, I was like, hey, I'm gonna promote Chicago title, right? So the first thing you see, I did a Chicago title on it, and then I realized I need to promote myself, right? Because there's so many title reps in Chicago title. The same thing with you, right? You also want to promote yourself. You as a product, you're creating your own brand. Everybody's different. Everyone's unique. Then I realized I'm bilingual. Why do I put my Chinese name on it? Because when people look at my Chinese name, they know I'm bilingual. Duh, right? So because of that, I start getting some calls from, general public, like Asian clients, You know, so last year, I can tell you, I got 4 refis through this. I got 2 commercial refinance. One was from Bank of the West, Arizona, 1 million commercial refi. I have 2 for sale by owners. Yes, they were rate shopping, but hey, at least you know they were able to reach out to me. So now, that was last year, so now I have a 72 reviews. After this, I can show you my page. And then make sure your address, you're gonna match your office, or if you have a, I don't know, home office, then you have to make sure that people are not gonna drive there, okay? So I just randomly use a like apartment complex. So then there were 2 times, like twice, somebody called me saying, hey, this is not like Chicago title. This looks like a residential area. So making sure when you set up the office address, it's a business address. Don't do that. Do it like me.
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
Those transactions, were they originated originally through a Google search?
Yes.
Oh,
So all those 4 refi, right? 2 commercial refi, 4 residential refi, 2 commercial refi, and then 2 for sale by owners. That's purchases. It's all generated through Google My Business, right? So a lot of times you will see a title rep or another vendor, right? A loan agent, they're gonna bring in a specialist. They're gonna charge you $500 on this. And then after they set it up for you, you don't even know what's going on, but you pay it. And then they say, oh, we're gonna charge you minimum $100 to do maintenance. But the truth is, in this game, anything's possible. Why I emphasize this is later on, I will show you my mentor who started this Google My Business. He's based in Whittier. Okay, he's the king of Whittier. He did it for me 6 months before me. He taught me how to do it. And then now I surpassed him. Why? Because anything's possible in this business, right? Nothing's forever, which means is as long as you always keep it up, you know, you keep on your momentum, you will get there eventually, right? It doesn't matter, maybe now you're behind, who cares, right? It's just like, if you wanna if you wanna lose like, what, 20 pounds, like me, right? During COVID, I indulged myself too much. I gained 20 pounds, seriously. And then for 6 months, I lost 15 already. So I'm 2 pounds away from my daughter's 10. So I'm 2 pounds away from before I got pregnant. So I'm very proud of myself. So just the same thing, if you want to have a 6-pack, it's not like if you work out today, tomorrow you're not gonna get a 6-pack, right? So the same thing with Google My Business. It takes time to grow and you have to be patient. We all know in real estate business it's the same, right? Let's say if I meet up with Peter today, it doesn't mean Peter's gonna give me the business today. I need to grow the relationship. I need to foster a relationship, provide value services. It's the same thing with your business for buyers and sellers. So this is like, you know, it takes time.
Last question, the reviews, were those requested by you or?
So what I do, you can do it with your clients too, right? We all know people are lazy. They don't want to do anything. So you want to pick when they in a good mood, right? So for me, it's, let's say when I close the transaction, right? So what I usually do for my clients is today I have a deal closed. So Chicago Title, we have this features. The moment when we close the deal, we will immediately get the recorded new deed, newly recorded deed of trust. So I will call the agent, congratulate them, and text them the grantee. I will also text the grantee to the buyer agent because a lot of times they feel like they are the orphanage, right? Because they didn't direct the business, nobody care about them. So then, with the buyer side, when we open the escrow, I call them, introduce myself to them. I will go over the prelim, answer all the title questions, make sure they get some love, right? At the closing, then I will send out this, the newly recorded deed, let them know the recording confirmation, and then I will ask them if they want to do circle prospecting, right? So then we can pull phone number and email addresses for you. So then you can circle prospecting because that is the game that you want to use this opportunity to generate your next business. So that's something you wanted to really pay attention.
And what you're really doing is building your resume virtually.
So then, when we close the deal, I will call the agent, congratulate them, right? And then I will, fly into send a text, right? Asking them, would you mind to write me a review? Right? I'm doing this for my business. When they're in a good mood, right, we will do it. But a lot of times, agents are busy too. They might not do it right away. So you have to stay on top of the game. You have to follow up, make sure they write the review. So I have a email template, I have a text template, right? So then I make sure I get to them. Or sometimes I do the video text to remind them. So for you, the same, when you're meeting with your buyers, right, at the closing, they're so happy they got a key, right? And then what you want to do is, the best way is, let's say Ruben is the buyer, right? And then I will do this, hey, Ruben, blah, 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 you're so happy, like, hey, would you mind to write me a review? And then
Sure.
he say, yes. Then why don't you help him out a little bit? So I say, hey, give me your phone. So he will pull out his phone, right? And then you click on that link. And then if you say, hey, Ruben, would you write it or type it for me? And a lot of times Ruben be like, oh, I don't care what you write. So then you say, hey, tell me something, why you hire me or how you like about my services. Then you probably gonna tell me like 3 sentences. I just type it in, right? I say, hey, this okay? Cool. Click send, and then
Done.
I get a review, right? Or let's say when you have a coffee or, when you close a deal, right? You're meeting with the seller, right? You're like having lunch or a coffee, do the same thing, right? Because of if you miss the opportunity, you're not gonna do it. Seriously, you and I would both know it, right? So the key things is you just have to follow up. Or sometimes I will use kind of like excuses. I will tell people, well, my company is doing this competition, right? I need to get as many reviews as I can. Can you help me out? And sometimes people will help me back. So I can guarantee you, when you go to my website, right, the 75 reviews, every single one of them, I follow up. I guarantee you. I follow up. I make sure they, write it for me. And then there was no like fake review. So I'm very proud of it. And then if you look at, I have another platform called Reach 150. I have over 100 reviews. So my goal is to, get the same people back to my Google. So
Are the reviews validated by Google or verified?
yeah, so when you submit the review, right, it's not gonna approve right away. So Google is gonna review it, okay? And then after that, the key thing is when people write you gotta reply. You have to engage, right? You can't just click like and do it like drive-by emoji. You have to put some thought to it. So later I'm gonna show you my review. After the review, when I type in the reply, it's not just like, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for your trust. No, that doesn't work. We have to put some time and effort to it. Sure.
In regards, I've heard the term fake news and all this, but in regards to fake news, how do you know when they're fake?
Also, Google is not stupid, right? So people are helping the agent. She has no patience. So when we set it up, you gotta wait for like a week or 2, right? And then start asking the review. You can't just be like once when your account like boom set up. Within a week, you got 8 reviews. So Google's gonna be like, hey, are you hiring a robot to do that? And they're gonna freeze your account. Okay? So you have to do it like gradual and slowly. Okay? And then when you talk about the fake review, I think depends, right? You're like other vendors, right? You can pay like Aquo, you can pay like $250, like claim, they can pump up the review for you. Basically, they will give you all your client database, email address, they just send out mass email, like constantly bombarding your clients. But for me, that's not how I operate. I believe maybe I'm a turtle, but I take one step at a time. It just depends on how you do that.
Because I've been asked to give reviews, another real estate agent,
Right?
but I don't use my email from Coldwell Banker.
Well, of course you can't. You have to use the other Gmail, right? Because of it's gonna show.
I use it totally different.
Right, you have to, right? If
Yeah.
you want to do that. It depends, it's just the same thing like when you have your goals, right? There's a different route to get there, right? Depends on which route you wanted to take. I mean, every route will get where you at. If you want a shortcut, go ahead. If you wanted to do it step by step, go ahead. If you wanted to, you know, jump over it and then reach out. So it just depends on how you take that. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
It's okay, we'll talk about it.
All right. So
Ready?
next. So this one is talking about the business name. It's really important. So right here it's giving you kind of like an example, right? So this one is like a coffee shop, right? So then you can see that that's something you wanted to look at, the hours. Okay, are you gonna open 24/7? Or you're only gonna do like, 9 to 6, or are you gonna open during the weekend? Right? Some people, they look at it. And then let's say if you are just a starting out agent or, doing this for 3 to 5 years, I'm just giving an example that are you going to set up with the Calendly? So Calendly is a free service. So people, they can book online, make appointment online through the Google, and because you can link that website. The thing is, nobody on most of the clients, they're not gonna book it online. But if you link up with Calendly, it shows you're up to speed, right? A lot of now, you see the vendors, they do a Calendly, set an appointment, we can click this link and pick the time, right? So you can do the same for your Google My Business. But then the hours, I would say you wanted to kind of like think about how you want to do. Some agents do 24/7, some they don't, they put a limit on it. So that's something you want to think about. Next. So then these are the ones I would say you wanted to pay attention how you can move up your ranking more. Okay, the first one we talk about is the Google rating. So you gotta be careful whenever you ask people to write reviews for you. Make sure they put 5 stars. Okay, I mean, if they're happy with your service or not, right? Because if you do you get 1 star, that's not so good, right? Plus it's out in the public. I know it's no brainer, but you just want to make sure that. And also, the keywords. So that's something I learned later on. It's really important. So for example, if I'm in the title business, the review, I would encourage my client to write anything related to title insurance, or maybe so the same thing with you. Your keywords will be real estate, whatever the area you want to dominate, maybe Alhambra or San Gabriel Valley, right? Listings, buyers and sellers, right?
Residential, commercial.
Residential sales, that type of thing. So that keywords can help you when people run, the searches, then like real estate agent, realtor, so you will bump it up. That's something I learned later, because before I just asked people for review. I just thought once when I pump it up, I will get there. Another thing is the quantity, right? The quantity of the review is the same as your numbers of rating. Now you want to make sure the more reviews you get, the good one, the solid one, it's gonna bump up your ratings. Next. So this is the template. If you need it, I can forward it to you for the email. So I have an email template to get their review. And then the next one is the text. Okay, so you see, I am well prepared. So this is, I know, very simple, right? Like, can you write me a review on my Google page? Right down here, say I'm building up my review. You should do the same for your biz, right? So those are for realtors, loan agents, escrows, vendors, that kind of stuff. So I find like text is the most efficient way to do it. Email, not so much, because everybody getting bombarded with email. Next. So those are the 2 links. The first one I was talking about, the GMB Everywhere, allows you to do the audit, right? That's free. And then the other one is a free review the email template. And if you need this, you can, I think, get it through your file, right? This is the whole presentation is recorded.
Yes.
So the agent can have it.
You could always refer back to this and go, one step at a time. Call Annie, maybe set up a one-on-one.
Yes, I can meet up with you one-on-one. I can, teach you how to do it because I've done this. So, yes,
Next,
yes. So this is from GMB. So every month they get free audits for free. It's kind of like show you if you really fill out your stuff. Okay, so I use the free version. So if you're asking, hey, what's the ones you have to pay? I'm not sure because I only use the free one.
that's your
So-
middle name.
That's right.
So that's what she said. So the check mark means it's accurate,
Yes,
it's good, right?
check. So this is a free, so, I don't know the paid version. Maybe the paid version is better, but I'm not gonna pay.
Ready?
Yes. Okay, this is, we are going to the essence of today's, workshop. So the first thing you need to have is you have to have a Gmail account. In order for you to set up a Google My Business, first you go to google.com/business. Once when you type it in, it looks exactly the same like this, okay? Because you already have a Gmail account. Then your second step is click on Manage Now, the blue icon. Okay, once when you click on blue icon, instantly, it's gonna route you and open a new Google My Business account for you. And this is all free. You don't need to pay nobody to do that, right? Google.com/business, click Manage Now, blue icon, instantly you will have your Google My Business account. Next. Then it's gonna ask you, right, your business category. Remember we were talking about GMB everywhere. That's #1 criteria, which means is first you wanna do real estate agent, and then you wanted to add the second criteria, the second category is real estate agent, real estate consultant. Okay, so this way you wanted to dominate that. And why you want to do like GMB everywhere is you want to check out your competition. Okay, so GMB everywhere allows you to see what kind of categories your competition is doing, what other categories they're adding on, so you can mimic what they do, so that you can move up to the ranking fast. So that's what I did. Okay, I check out my mentors, right? So before I just did title insurance, but I found out, hey, he did like escrow service. Okay, I add escrow service on it too. So slowly, I ramp it up. Next. So it's pretty much, it's a sequence, right? Like after you finish your category, it's gonna ask you to building your business profile. Then you need to pick the business name. So it could be, you wanna put like Cecilia or like Cold Banker George, or you wanna put Cold Banker George first, or if you're in a team, you put in a team, right? That's something you need to kind of, think about. And with the office address, so I don't, doesn't matter which address, you just use a business address. Because it's gonna post on Google, right? Just in case if, God forbid, somebody drive by. I mean, that's what happened to me last year. We had 2 potential clients drive by and call me saying, hey, this is not Chicago title. So I follow your Google. So, right.
If the name is taken, it'll tell you or it will allow it.
Well,
You know?
the name pretty much, because if you put
Genuine.
your full name, it's not gonna be taken because everyone is unique, it's different. And then if you want to put a CD branding, right, it's most likely it's not gonna be taken.
Okay.
Yeah. So next. Then the office address, as I mentioned, I'll make sure you put it in a business address or an office or a building, people you drive by, not like what I did. No, next. And then it's gonna give you the contact so you can put your cell phone, right? And then it's gonna allow you whether you wanted to receive the text, okay? Or you wanted to do the email, so it's pretty self-explanatory. And next. Then this is the one I was talking about, right? So we see a lot of vendors now, they say, hey, yeah, book an appointment with me, right? You click a link, automatically go into calendar. So that's something you can also do to link that up with your Google My Business. So on the surface, it looks like, hey, you're up to speed, right? Like you got everything all tied up. So that's a good idea. Plus it's free. Also,
I tried doing it and there was a fee for it.
There's a different version.
right,
Yeah.
I only did a free version.
Yeah, there's the free version, which is the basics.
Right.
Which is all you need,
Okay.
but you have to have a Google account No, you have to have a Google account to manage your calendar. So it can sync with Calendly, otherwise you're gonna constantly have to manually put your blocks, because otherwise you're gonna have conflict of time management and stuff, so. If you don't have a Google account or Gmail, they won't sync up. Okay, so it's only gonna communicate with Gmail and Calendly, otherwise you cannot use Calendly. Or you could, but you're gonna have to manually manage your scheduling, which defeats the whole purpose of Calendly.
So it's not a good idea to use your personal email, right?
Yes, well, you could.
Because it's gonna mess up with your business.
No, I mean, it depends, right? Like, if you already have one account and linked up with all your business, just use that. But if you have a person, depends on your preference, no?
So Herman, you use your Coldwell Banker for business right now?
Now I use Yahoo.
So
But I
what,
have my Gmail for a fun.
what you
email
could
personal.
do for your business, what you could do is create a new Gmail account and then forward your Yahoo emails to your Gmail, so nothing changes in your business. What's gonna happen is when you get your phone, you're gonna have 2 accounts or 3 or 4. I have 4 on my phone. And then you're just gonna have to reply with whichever correspondence is, so if they email you in
What I'm saying
Gmail,
is for creating this.
Right.
The GMP, can we use our personal email, personal Gmail, but then display other email?
Well, I mean, whatever the calendar account you set up with, that's gonna link with that Gmail account.
So when they
You can't
people
just
search
like,
on you on the Google page, they will show your,
so you
Gmail
wanted
that
to
you use,
sync in
or
everything,
can you
right?
change the email that you wanna show in the public?
no, it's
no.
gonna link up with whatever you're associating Calendly with
Yes,
your business.
So
account.
they'll show whatever Gmail that you.
Right,
yes.
either a new business Gmail or your existing Gmail. Yeah,
Yeah, so this one is really important, the business description, okay? So a lot of times they'll be like, hey, I don't really want to write about a short bio. I'm sure you don't have a Zillow account, right? You probably already have a couple of Zillow review. All you need to do is go back to your Zillow account and then cut and paste whatever the bio you have, and then you can paste it. And then let's say you say, hey, I don't really have one, or I don't really like the one I have, then just Zillow and search on other agents. And then you can kind of mimic what we say and then make it your own version. Okay, next. So then product services. So this one, what you can do is, let's say if you have a production on listings, right? If you have, let's say, it doesn't matter if you're on a buyer side, seller side, if you have a transaction, that's where you can put your transactions based on the property address. You can put the pictures, address, all that stuff. That's where your bragging moment, you can do that. So that is the, product and services. Next. So this is something I wanted to kind of just to emphasize that Google My Business is just one platform, right? So then you wanted to, because we all know that we don't put all eggs in one basket, right? So you have to create different sources. So the first one, we talk about like a door knocking in your specific area. Let's say if you want to dominate in your Alhambra, right? There's like certain Alhambra area, so then you can target that area, and then we can help you to figure out the most likely to sell. We have the algorithm. We can pull that data for you, so then you can, try to leverage and get that. And then the circle prospecting will be, let's say you just close the transaction, we can pull 300 email and phone number farm for you, so you can leverage. It doesn't matter if you're on the buyer side, right? If you're on the listing side, or even, it's time for you to go back to the basics. So you can even email me your last year's production, which means maybe last year you had 5 transactions. Doesn't matter if you have a listing side, buyer side, we can pull the circle prospecting for you. Okay, and then you can kind of like call yourself as maybe you want to do like a Mr. Monrovia, or let's say like a Mr. Alhambra. And then the fifth one is using the Google My Business to have a local, strong local presence. So then what you wanna do is for that product or services we just seen, right? Let's say you wanna dominate in Alhambra, go to Alhambra Library, go to Alhambra City Hall, even do a selfie or maybe take a picture of that because there's like a geo tag, right? The more you post in that area you wanna dominate, Google recognize that so that it can bump up your ranking. Okay, so that's like really important, location data,
Does it recognize it by photo or by what you name the photo?
by photo, because when you take a picture, right, they
Oh, wow.
already have it.
Okay, good.
It's a geotag. Next. So then, wrapping up, also want to ask you, right, what is your social media marketing strategy in 2023? Because Tom Ferry, he's pushing it. You will start seeing a lot of agents before they never go on to like Instagram. Suddenly, everybody's bombarding the Instagram. They run like targeting ad on Facebook. That's something you wanted to kind of like, look into that. And then if you are interested in doing that, let me know. I can help you to optimize your Instagram account and Facebook account. So I've been getting the social media coaching since 2015 for a couple years on and off. So myself, I pay $500 a month myself for stuff. Okay, so I think in this is, we just have to learn to evolve and adapt. So then we will be still stay in the game. Next. So thank you so much for the opportunity, but I wanted to see if Ruben, you can go on to the internet, like go to google.com and then you can show my Google account, like Google my business account.
I'm gonna type just her name. Right?
Yes,
Oh, and she pops up first. You see that?
right. So you see, this is my Google my business right on the right hand side. So then if you wanted to look at the you click on the 75 Google reviews.
Oh, just want to let you know one thing. So if your name, your Google page is optimized and at top, you're still gonna have some in front of you, but they're gonna say ad. Those are the ones that are paid for. So unless you pay for it, you're not gonna be at the very, very top and stuff.
Ruben, I'm sorry, again, can you say what you Googled for her to pop up?
Just Annie Fan. So here, I'll do it again.
Or even you do title company and usually.
You want me to do that?
Title company near me, right? Just do title
All right.
company. And usually the title company near me, right? Like you click on near me.
There it is up there.
Where? Oh, right here, Chicago title. Annie Fan.
See, Juan is my mentor. So,
Okay. So there's only 3 that pop up here.
right, so then if you look at the, so people, they tend to contact the one that has most reviews. So that's something you need to pay attention. Hey, once we pump out your review, you'll get the most call.
Annie,
Yes,
can you set up a account for the business? Yourself, not your personal.
but this
This
is,
is like for
this is a
Nicole
business.
Bank George. Can you set one up for us?
yeah.
You guys already have one.
I think you already have one.
You already
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. That's it. I have a-
Well, they have to write reviews.
Huh?
They have to have reviews.
Yeah.
You don't
So you can have, you can ask all our agents to write us reviews.
There's already a lot of.
So
Is
how
it?
do we optimize?
Let's say another service in the area, if you want to, not cheating, but you can hire a
Maybe
family.
one day you can get together with Ruben.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
To do the optimization.
Okay, yeah, I love that. Okay,
Thank you.
welcome.
Annie,
Yes.
when I looked up title companies, I just put title companies,
Mhm.
and Ruben came up first.
Oh, yeah, yeah, so I work hard on that. So but I want to show everybody, can you click on the review? So the beauty of the review,
Where's the reviews?
you click on review.
Here? Oh, yeah.
So what you want to do is you click on the newest.
I hear.
Oh no, the right here, right here. Okay, this is the newest, right? So what I did was this Alberto guy, this happened yesterday. he was asking me to put some brandy. So I said, well, because usually I don't want to overpromise. I said, well, I have a 24 hours turnaround time. So let me give you something really quick. If you order phone for me, I have 48 hours turnaround time. Typically, I can get it for you within 24 hours. Okay, but I don't want to overpromise you, so I said 48 hours. If you're gonna, ask me to run something, quickly, usually my turnaround time is within 3 hours. Okay, but I told him, he called me like late, like 3 p.m. So I told him, hey, I'll get it for you, the next day, which is today. But I was able to email it to him by 5 p.m. He was so happy. I could tell the tone, and it's free. So I said, hey, would you mind to write me a review?
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
that's like how I got it, right? So then if you look at the review, right? Whenever I get the review, I always have response, right?
Right
So
there.
if you look at the response, I didn't just say thank you. I just say, oh, thank you for your trust, Alberto. Please let me know if I can be any title help. Or the next one you see that right here, right? So I was like, because he wrote like a really, Paula, she wrote like a really nice review. I say, oh my God, thank you, Paula, for your awesome review. I'm so grateful to work with you all these years. You are an amazing mentor on the subdivision arena. Let's connect soon. So she is the GRE processing queen. So for me, I'm not just a typical title rep. I do residential, I do commercial, I do subdivision. So I have a couple projects as well. So I know that most of the subdivision reps, when they work with builders, they target big ones, like KB Homes, Toll Brothers, right? Urban companies. But the small to medium moms and pop builders, they don't focus that. In San Gabriel Valley, there's tons of them. Sunny Construction, Rodeos Construction, right? Burgonian Development, they are building a 90 unit in Temple City on Rosemead, right? And then there's like a couple of them. So those are the ones, they didn't get the love from the title rep. So she was one who mentored me, who taught me the title process on the GRE. So I'm very lucky, able to work with her. And I think, anything's possible if you set your mind to it. It might not happen right away, but it will. Just have to have faith in yourself. So I started working in the subdivision, I would say 6 years ago. And last year and this year, I'm closing in on a 30-unit mixed unit project in Long Beach. So it just, it takes time, but we just have to have faith that in this game, it's not the, it's not a speed, it's the marathon. The same thing with real estate. We just needed to be active and then find the right buyers and seller in this business, because it doesn't matter interest rates high or low, there's always transactions. And thank you so much for the opportunity to do this presentation. I would love to meet with you one-on-one. I can help you because now you see how I did it myself, right? It was a learning process for me as well. And the good things, I really like what I do. I know it sounds kind of crazy, like being a title rep, but to me, I'm helping people, right? I'm also an immigrant. I came here when I was 19 from Taiwan. Okay, I went straight to Arizona State with no family and friends. My parents, my family, they were still in Taiwan. They immigrated here back in like 2007. So then I can relate it to a lot of real estate agents. It took me, I would say, probably 3 years typing without looking at a keyboard. I know it sounds slow. So I can relate it to some of the stuff you guys are going through. So I'm here for you. I would love to partner with you 2023. And then thank you so much, like from the bottom of my heart, for the opportunity, because I know your office is very selective, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and thank you. Thank you so much.
You're one of the best speakers that I've heard. I mean, it's a new year, but honestly, I appreciate it. And
on technology,
and you're right, we're all unique. Because life would be pretty boring if we were all the same. Thank you.
Yeah, so positive, compliance, right? So it's all good, right? It's kind of for everybody. We just need to find our own niche and then have faith in ourselves. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you. Thank you so
Appreciate
much. So if I can get this card, I would love to have you